So why did I sell NVIDIA, Advanced Micro Devices, and Google? For the same reason I sold Tesla back last November, and for the same reason I've been telling you since last November that you got to get out of China, that you got to get out of these stocks, that the market is coming down. And I don't do it as well as Graham Steffens does. I just finished watching his video. This is a thumbnail of his video. And I go watch his video. He's got 4 million people, and he's explaining why China's coming down, why our market's coming down. What he doesn't do, though, is tell you where to invest to make money off of this move in the market. Yeah, we're going into a recession, and yeah, tech is going down, but where do you go in the meantime to make money? That's what I'm going to tell you in this video, and that's what I'm going to tell you in the coming videos in the coming weeks.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
I hope you watched Graham's video like I suggest. If you have, you understand that China's going to crash, and the ripple effects of China's crashing is going to be felt around the world. But the premise is, when it crashes, something is going to benefit from that crash. Just like when you had a coronavirus, something, Zoom, Peloton, benefited from that corona crisis. So what's going to benefit from the crash of China that will ripple across the nation? Well, I think I have a pretty good idea. But before we get into that, let me share with you the premise of why I sold my Google, my NVIDIA, and my micro devices, and why I may sell some of my Apple and and Amazon. Why would I sell them? Let me show you the graph, the spreadsheet where I showed you the growth of those stocks. And what if we had made some changes? What if we had recognized that the dot-com bubble was going to harm them and the subprime crisis, and we got out of them? And what would have happened? And what would have happened if we were astute enough to plug into their investment where they were the stocks that were going to benefit? Let me take you to the spreadsheet, and you will see this. Your jaw is going to drop. Okay, in case you haven't seen this before, what I've done is taken Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, NVIDIA, and Google and said that the day they IPO'd, I put $10,000 into each one of them and just let it ride and see what happened. And that takes us all the way back to 1982. And what I've done then is leave that $10,000, didn't add anything to it, and just took the returns that they gave me. And if you go through this, you can see that I would today have $47 million if I had done it. 10,000 in what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stocks over about 30, 40 years. So then I got to thinking, well, what if I was a little bit more proactive? And I recognized what the subprime crisis was, and I recognized what the dot-com bubble was, and I just bailed, just like I bailed just recently on NVIDIA, Advanced Micro Devices, and Google. And in that year, rather than taking the loss, I got a zero, okay? The money sat on the side, and I got a zero. Okay, remember the number, $47 million. Now, if I had done that, that number would have turned into $437 million. That's almost a 10x increase if I just recognized what was going to happen and just sat on the sideline until it took care of itself. Now, let's take it one step further, and let's say, all right, instead of doing that, let's be proactive, and let's go find who's going to benefit from the dot-com bubble, who's going to benefit from the subprime crisis, and now who's going to benefit from the collapse of China and the recession that we're going into. And I found the stock, and I got what I had been getting, an average up there of 35% return. In other words, what if in the coronavirus I had identified the Zoom that got 855%, or the Peloton that got 355%, or whatever. But no, I'm not going to put that number in. I'm going to put 35, a positive 35%. Now what would I have? Okay, remember our numbers: 47 million, 437 million. What about $1.5 billion? If I was proactive, if I went and said, all right, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia are going to suffer through this if they just lay flat. But I go and find the stocks that are going to benefit from a crash in China. I think I know what they are. And so I think I know what to plug into here, and what I need to decide: am I going all in on this? Am I going to sell all of my Apple, my Microsoft, my Amazon? I've already sold my Nvidia, my Google. Am I going all in on this and then put it where I am convinced the stocks are that are going to benefit from the crash in China and the recession that we're going to have? Okay, that's my premise. Are you with me so far? Okay, here are some other YouTubers who believe the China crash is inevitable. And then you add to that what's happening in Russia and Ukraine, and the threat that they're going to turn off their gas and their oil and basically starve them to death if they don't come to Vladimir's opinion of what should happen. And so we are in a position now where I know that this is going to happen. Now we've got to figure out who's going to benefit from it. And that's where I want to take you to my Moo chart and show you what I think is going to happen. Okay, this is my Moo charting. And I encourage you to sign up for Moo and get their 13 free stocks, because their mobile app and their charts have really lightened my world up and helped me quite a bit. What I'm looking at here is Nvidia and why I sold Nvidia. And what I want you to look at is this red line. That's the 200-day moving average. And as you can see back here in about I guess it was April 12th, the price dropped under that 200-day moving average. And that gives me the trend. That's the direction it's going. And as you can see, it's moved on down and then took a dive this last week, luckily, just after I sold it. And that's the way it's moving. So if I look forward and I say, what has to change in order to turn that up and get above that red line? Now let's look at Google. Doesn't look a lot different, does it? And again, here it dropped, it looks like on April the 14th, and it's very comfortable, it appears right now, under that red line. That's why I sold Google. And this is Advanced Micro Devices. So that went negative again around April the 1st. So that's why I sold them. They do me no good there. Could they go lower? Yes. I don't want to buy them until they get above that 200-day moving average. And so as I showed you in my spreadsheet, I'm much better off with a 0 from here on in, if in fact it's going to get worse. I've already taken a 20-30% beating on it, but if it's going to get worse, I don't want to participate. So that's the dilemma I'm at. So where do I go from there? This is Shenshire Energy, LNG, the company I told you about yesterday in the video. And if you haven't seen it, go find it. That's in the business of liquid natural gas. Why am I in there? Because Vladimir is going to turn the pipes off in Europe and Asia and starve these people out until they come to their way of thinking. And I explained to this. This is not an unusual practice. We did it in the Cuban Missile Crisis to Cuba. You either do it our way or we'll play a different game. That's why I'm moving some of my money from Google and NVIDIA and micro devices into LNG. Let me show you another one. That's a spike. Have you noticed we got a problem with water? We have people who have too much, and then a major part of our nation and China and other nations who don't have enough. This is a company, as you can see, who is on the other side of the 200-day moving average, and thus that's where I want to move some of my money. This is my major play. If we all agree that China's going down, why don't we short China? This is ticker symbol YXI. As you can see, it's above the line, not by much, but we want to be ahead of the game on this. And if we all believe that China's going down, then let's bet against them. Okay, and let's take some of the money that we have in big tech that isn't going anywhere, that has convinced us, that has told us as long as interest rates are up, they aren't going to go up. But this will. If, in fact, all of us YouTubers and Peter Zion and a few other astute people believe that China's going to. So, okay, we all agree they're going down. How do you profit? This is what I'm going to share with you, continuing in the next video. Okay, if this is a road you want to travel, you need to do several things. First of all, like the video. I'll help you do your investing. You help me build my channel, okay? That means, number two, subscribe. Subscribe to the channel so that Google recognizes, YouTube recognizes, hey, this is a popular channel and we need to put it in front of more people because I want more people to benefit. I'd like to get up there with Graham, about 4 million subscribers. So you can help me do that if you believe what I am giving you is of value. Number three, you need to get the Moo app because that's where we're going to do our work. That's where we're going to find the stocks that we want to move our money into to replace the gains that we're not going to get from our big tech stocks over the next several months. I don't know, maybe even a year. And then you're going to need to go to the link in the description, and I'm going to send you or give you the ability to get a copy of that graph or that spreadsheet that I showed you on how if you just eliminate losses and replace them with gains, you can take this to billions of dollars, okay? That's where we're going to go from here. That's what I'm going to do for you. Now, what are you going to do for me?